Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of TBD. With me, as always, is my good friend with beautiful facial hair and a beautiful face and a cool boy hat sticking straight up in the air. My friend, Seth Payne. Yes. Now introduce you to our guest. He is a veteran of foreign wars. He is a veteran of Chicago comedy. You can catch him before viruses overtook our life, running shows at the Laugh Factory and the store. And now you can catch him freaking out in the middle of Pilsen in his apartment. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Matthew Patrick Torres. Yes. Thanks for being here, Matthew.
You're welcome. Do you know who Shaun White is?
I do, yeah.
He's a comic from Chicago. I know he moved, I forgot where. But one time he had a set, and so he was making fun of people who like left the country once, and then so now they think they're smart. You're like,
Yeah.
He was like, don't you hate when people like they go to one country for a week and they're like, yeah, look at me, like actually, in Argentina they do this and they do this, and he was like trying to mock it, and so I was like just in the audience watching, and he was like, he just randomly picked me. He's like, have you ever left the country? And I was like, yeah. He's like, where'd you go? And I was like, Iraq. And then he was like, you really ruined everything that I was about to say. He's like, I'm Shaun White. That's my timing.
So here's one thing I know about Matt. Matt loves his video games. We do this thing called One Gotta Go. So one of these gotta go. Nintendo, Xbox, or PlayStation?
PlayStation 1?
No. The entire catalog of their products.
It would probably, unfortunately, would have to be Xbox. Because Nintendo's awesome, but then PlayStation, there's nothing that Xbox really has that PlayStation doesn't, and PlayStation does it a little bit better. You guys ever played Sonic 2?
Yeah, I think
I don't know the difference between Sonic 2 and Sonic 1, to be honest. I know I played one of them.
And so I would always give my brother the controller and tell him he's Tails. He wasn't really doing anything.
Your brother's younger than you, right?
Yeah.
So you always made him do shitty stuff instead of like having the main thing? He was always like Luigi or some shit like that?
Which is weird because my brother's huge and like giant. It's weird that I made him do anything.
One time, this is like a story my family never lets me live down. When I was like 5 or 6 and my brother was like 3 or 4, we were playing, I think it was Donkey Kong on Super Nintendo in our bedroom because we shared a room at that point. And he had like a deviated septum his whole life. So he was a loud breather. And I needed concentration. And he kept breathing too loud. So I tied him to our bunk bed. So, so he would stop breathing close to me so I could beat the level. And then I couldn't get the strings untied. So I had to go ask my parents for scissors so I could cut him out. And then they're like, why do you need scissors? And I'm like, no reason.
This vaguely sounds like a crime.
if you won the lottery today, what's like the first thing you would just go and recklessly buy with that cash?
To me?
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably still be into like all this stuff. I'll probably just maybe like Denver or something, own like a big chunk of land. And I'd probably open up my own studios if I had $500 million, where I would just make Netflix quality, Hulu quality productions on my own record. And I would just probably try to chill, be healthier. It's kind of expensive as hell to be healthy.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'd probably just be healthier. I'd probably just bring all my friends. I'm like, Brad, you want to make a movie? Want to do this? And just hire the real help people. Like, because it sucks because, like, you ever had anyone make a movie and you're like, man, if they just had money, they could have made something good. You could even hire actual real actors who are already established. It'd be, like, a pretty dope. I would do something like that.
What do you think of George W. Bush as a painter?
You know what's weird? I like all these guys that have nothing to do with painting, and then they're painting, and then their paintings are weirdly worth money.
Like Jim Carrey?
Jim Carrey, Hitler, a bunch of people.
Jim Carrey, Hitler. You know, the two funniest guys of all time. Have you seen the George W. Bush paintings?
No, are they good?
They're not as good as Jim Carrey's.
They're pretty bad.
But they're cute. He's like, I drew son.
They used to sell these paintings that elephants painted with their trunks. And so one time they're on, like, Jay Leno had him on the Tonight Show, and it showed, and then so he brought out one of the paintings, and the painting was of an elephant, And he goes, who painted this? And he's like, the elephant did. And Jay Leno's like,
he's like, I don't believe you.
like, bullshit. And then they showed how they did it. And it's just like the guy, he would like hold the paper and like kind of guide.
Oh my God.
Like, yeah. I was like, this is bullshit.
Have you ever almost nearly died?
Me?
Yeah.
All these questions are to you, you fucking idiot. We asked you to come on our show so we could ask you questions. And every question you go, you talking to me?
Currently, I'm always almost dying.
If you could make a cameo on any TV show, what would it
Are you waiting for me to say who, me?
I'm waiting.
To you.
It has to be a show that's running now.
No, it could be any show.
Even in the past, I don't know, MASH.
What would you do on MASH? What would you do on MASH?
I would just be like a regular guy. I don't know.
You'd be from the future. You'd come in and be like, hey guys, I gotta tell you about coronavirus.
You think this war is something? We're gonna beat these numbers. I would just want to be on the most epic show. I always think that every time I watch like an epic show that's out and there's like a guy who has like, they're called day players and they have like those couple of lines and stuff. I'm like, that must have been a great day. It must, like, you know how like most people like in our, that we know are going to fail horribly. I feel like it'd be good to fail horribly with like one cool receipt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then, like, what happened, like what happened? Like I sucked, but like one time I was like the dirt devil guy, now. And now I don't do anything.
The dirt devil guy.
I don't know. I was just trying to think of like something that would.
You know, the famous dirt devil guy.
Be like something like where you could have like at least something where you don't want to. Your kids could still respect you.
Son, I failed miserably, but I was the dirt devil guy.
Well, like my biggest.
I was the regular guy on MASH.
I was the guy that traveled from the future to MASH.
Like what happened? Like, oh, I'm here to like check the boiler. That way.
Like we're intense.
My biggest credit now is like so embarrassing. I was like on a Wheat Thins commercial. I feel like my kids would just not respect me.
Oh yeah, that Wheat Thins commercial's kind of almost problematic now too.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like To Catch a Predator, but to catch a Wheat Thins predator or something like that?
The guy who steals Wheat Thins.
They like left him in a room with a box of Wheat Thins.
Yeah, and there's like a hidden camera, and then like a To Catch a Predator guy comes out and's like, "What were you doing?"
I was about to fuck this box of Wheat Thins.
What? Well, it's funny because it's me like dipping my fingers into the Wheat Thins. I could send you the commercial. It hasn't aged well in the last 8 years. It's very.
Oh my god.
Very.
I cannot stop laughing.
If I got a lot of, if I got any kind of success, it would definitely be one of the things that came back to haunt me.
They'd be like, we have to cancel this guy. He was gonna fuck a box of Wheat Thins.
Yeah, like the few things I've gotten, like as far as like speaking roles and stuff. A lot of times they think like I'm like some deep actor, but really I'm just trying to remember what I have to say. So I'm like, hey. What are you doing?
Something you secretly love but never talk about. This question's for Matt.
Damn. Money, probably. I always try to feel like I try to play down money, but really, like to me, it's like this nice little warm security blanket. Like the more I can have, the more I feel better.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. And maybe from like being poor or something, but like, so like a lot of times when I'll like hang out with other people, especially whatever, I'll lie too. They'll be like, yeah, money doesn't matter. In my head, I'll think like nothing could matter more. But it's frowned upon to love money. So you got to pretend like you don't, but I really do.
Do you want to announce the title of this episode?
I would like to go with Taco Burrito Doctor.
All right.
I said I want my episode to stick out. So I don't know how you're thinking, but I picture them going through all these clever ones and they're like, Taco Burrito Doctor. And they're like, there you go.
Thank you, Matt, for being our guest on Taco Burrito Doctor.
Woo-woo.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in, guys.